Have more than thou showest, speak less than thou knowest, lend less than thou owest. A very warm good morning to all of you. Today, we all are here to have a glimpse at the contribution and ramifications of playwright Shakespeare, who has covered all human emotions, portrayed conflicts, and rose to prominence in London. People continue performing his plays around the world, and at present time, we can see Shakespeare-inspired movies based on his famous tragedies and comic plays. Today, we are going to showcase this parallel drawn by the Bollywood between Shakespearean plays and Hindi movies.
In Bollywood, Shakespeare has found many admirers who have turned his plays and stories into Bollywood blockbusters. The movie Maqbool, which is considered as a landmark in acting and direction, was inspired by the play Macbeth. Comic movies like Do Duni Char and Angoor are the Bollywood adaptations of the Shakespearean play The Comedy of Errors. The tragedy of Othello, The Moor of Venice, can be seen in the movie Omkara. The tragedy play Romeo and Juliet has inspired many Bollywood movies till date. Some of the Bollywood movies inspired by Romeo and Juliet are Bobby, एक दूजे के लिए, कयामत से कयामत तक, सौदागर, इशकजादे, and गोलियों की रासलीला, रामलीला. The movie Heather has its inspiration drawn from the play Hamlet.
The very first instance that would be presented is with the correlation of the Bollywood movie Heather with the Shakespearean play Hamlet, which was scripted in year 1599. So let's welcome Heather and Hamlet together on the stage.
My father has gone missing. I am shocked to see my mother singing and laughing with her brother-in-law Kurum. I am unable to understand her behavior despite such a tremendous tragedy. I have been informed by Rudar that my father attributed his imprisonment to his brother Kurum. My father wanted me to take revenge of Kurum's betrayal. I have shaved my head and I am not able to behave properly because of the post-traumatic stress. I am mentally and emotionally shattered. I am confused. Whom to believe? To be or not to be? That is the question. I am going insane.
Wait. Your story sounds like mine. This is one of the traits devised by the Shakespeare, which is called interdisposition.
But who are you?
I am Hamlet, the protagonist of William Shakespeare tragic drama, Hamlet. When I heard you narrating your tragedy, I could not stop myself from appearing out of the book.
Good to know you, Hamlet. But what relation do you have with my tragedy?
I can see that your story has been done on the same plot as that from Hamlet. I am extremely obliged to the highly acclaimed playwright of Shakespeare, who had framed my character and story in such an ingenious manner that people in the 21st century too are utilizing his plays for making movies.
Very true, Hamlet. Shakespeare has made exalting contributions to English literature that has had a profound impact on other genres as well, even in today's time. I am highly obliged to that legendary writer Shakespeare. It's because of him that the character Hamlet became so famous, and my movie too could earn a name for itself. A name for itself, a name for itself.
Macbeth by William Shakespeare is a world-renowned play, and it has also inspired the Bollywood blockbuster Maqbool. From the same play, please welcome Lady Macbeth and her counterpart from Maqbool, Nimmi.
I am one of the most powerful characters of English literature. I am Lady Macbeth. My burning ambition to be a queen is a feature that Shakespeare developed on the conflict between femininity and masculinity.
I am not from Shakespeare's book Macbeth, but from a similar story, and I was told that I am the Bollywood counterpart of Lady Macbeth. My movie is a powerful and intriguing Hindi film Makbul, which is an adaptation of William Shakespeare's Macbeth. My role has been written on the basis of your role, and thus I have been portrayed as an ambitious woman who craves for power and position.
However, my character seems much more unstable, considerably more insane than any other figure conceived by the playwright. My increasing mental instability must have been, without a doubt, a key factor in my eventual physical downfall. My questionable mental status becomes apparent the first time reader is introduced to my character, where I begin to plot the murder of Duncan and start off with the fantasies and such delusions of my husband ruling the country.
In the movie, Makbul starts dwelling upon lust for power and passion because of me. He is abetted by me, and I goad him to usurp the godfather's place in the hierarchy of the gang. Makbul plots and plans to take over the man under whom he had been working for such a long time, although he was torn between his loyalty for that man and his love for me.
Shakespeare in literature has graced us with a plethora of colorful characters that modern psychologists and psychiatrists could easily diagnose with some sorts of mental disorder. I later summoned mythological spirits gave me the strength to murder Duncan. Psychologists of present time would agree that such delusions of grandeur and trouble-separating fantasies are positive signs for paranoid schizophrenia. Near the conclusion, my episodes are characterized by sleepwalking.
Likewise, Makbul is driven to murder this man, betrays a sense of desperation. But the desperation was not his, it was mine. I had goaded him into it, just as you had goaded Macbeth into committing Duncan's murder in the Shakespearean play.
I also started having visual hallucinations where I could feel the smell of blood and stains on my hand in spite of washing them several times.
The trouble sleeping faced by you is considered today as a bipolar disorder. Although sleepwalking is a disorder on its own, it won't be outlandish to surmise that both of us were feeling incredible levels of stress at that point and were punished for our roles in usurping the power to our hands.
We are highly obliged to Shakespeare for his splendid contribution to English literature.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, what a splendid performance. Coming up next is a famous poem. The poem begins as a monologue in Shakespearean play As You Like It, spoken by dispirited Jacques. The poem compares worlds to a stage, life to a play, and catalogues 7 stages of man's life. Man is mortal. That is, he has a short period of time. So let's not waste time. Let's call Arnav and Soumya on the stage to recite this poem. And later on, we will meet Rajesh Khanna himself from movie Anand. He would be saying few lines, which are actually Hindi version of this poem. So let's welcome them.
All the world a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They had their entrance and their exit, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages.
At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms.
Then, a whining schoolboy with its satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school.
And then, the lover, sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow.
Then, a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like part, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubbled reputation even in the cannon's mouth.
And then the justice in fair round belly, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part.
The 6th stage shifts into lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide. For his shrunk shank, his big manly voice, turning again towards childish trebles, pipes and whistles in his sound.
And then the last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history. Second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth,
Sans eyes
sans taste
and sans everything. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Rajesh Khanna from the movie Anand. My very famous lines in this movie has been taken from the poem Seven Ages. It still has a very profound effect on everyone's heart. बाबू गोसाई, हम तो रंगमंच की कठपुतलियां हैं, जिसकी डोर उस ऊपर वाले के हाथ में है. कब, कौन, कैसे उठेगा, ये कोई नहीं बता सकता है. Won't you like to listen to my dialogue straight from the movie Anand? Here it is.
जिंदगी और मौत ऊपर वाले के हाथ में जहां पड़ा, उसे ना तो आप बदल सकते ना मैं. हम सबको रंगमंच की कठपुतलियां हैं, जिनकी जिंदगी और मौत ऊपर वाले के हाथ में जहां पड़ा, उसे ना तो आप बदल सकते हैं ना मैं. हम सब रंगमंच की कठपुतलियां हैं, जिनकी डोर ऊपर वाले की उंगलियों में बंधी है. कब, कौन, कैसे उठेगा, ये कोई नहीं बता सकता है. मौत.
William Shakespeare has written plays that have inspired such Bollywood movies that have taken the Hindi film industry to a whole new level of excellence. Without his tremendous contributions to English literature, today all these characters wouldn't be amongst us. Don't you think it would be great to have Shakespeare here too? Wouldn't it be such a delight for him to see all his characters together? Please welcome the preeminent dramatist, the Bard of Avon, William Shakespeare himself.
Cowards die many times before their death, but the valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders yet I have heard, it seems to me most strange why men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Good morning to you all. I am William Shakespeare. I am a playwright, a poet, and a dramatist. I was born in Stratford-upon-Avon on April 23rd, 1564. I got my education at the King Edward VI Grammar School. I had learned Latin literature and grammar over there. I started my career as a playwright in London. 2 years later, I became a part owner of a playwright company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men. The company was triumphant and was adopted by King James I, also renamed as the King's Men. Till date, I have written 5 poems, 38 plays, and 154 sonnets. All of them are well known around the world. Oh, I didn't realize you all were going to be here. I'm awestruck. You, the protagonists of my play, have performed the lead roles such beautifully that have made my plays very well known all around the world. And you, the counterparts, have starred in such beautiful movies that have earned their name in the history of movies. Thank you to you all. Thank you.